YouTube Nation, Main Event TV, aka Me TV, aka the Eagles played like a bunch of broken birds last night. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call you the Beagles for now on, aka bring Jeff Beagles too, aka NFL and NBC are a joke right now, aka are you ready for Tuesday Night Football? Get used to it. I'm telling you guys now, get used to it. I'll explain that later. Now, before we get into the game, let's talk about what actually postponed the game, which was the snow. For those who know, East Coast got hit with a lot of snow, all right? Now, we only got 12 inches, all right? We got hit with a foot of snow. I was out there on Sunday, all right? And it didn't get bad till about 10 o'clock at night. So, and people saying, well, the game was postponed. You know, it was postponed and they were supposed to play at 8. False. They were supposed to play at 1 to begin with. And I'll show you some proof. Look, I don't know if y'all can see this or not. Minnesota, 1 o'clock, all right? They were supposed to play at 1, all right? NBC pushed the game back to primetime for ratings. That's what they did. Then when they found out that the game was going to be postponed, they pushed it to Tuesday. Why? Because they didn't want to play Monday night. They didn't want to go up against Monday Night Football with the Saints and Falcons, so they pushed it to Tuesday. They didn't want to share ratings. Now, like I said, if this was about the fans, you know, travel conditions and safety, I could understand that. But that's not what NBC was about. They were about ratings, all right? So I'm just letting you guys know now, this had nothing to do with the safety of fans. I don't care what people are saying. NBC knew what they were doing. It's the same thing they did a couple weeks into the season with Jeff Fisher. For those who don't understand what happened, when Jeff Fisher was coaching, a representative came over to Jeff Fisher and asked him, you know, can you take a timeout so that we can run commercials? And Jeff Fisher said, no, this is getting ridiculous. The fact that these companies, these stations are now trying to control the sport, this is done. All right? And like I said, about Tuesday Night Football, for those who don't know, for a while now, the NFL has been trying to push football during the week. This was another test. We see it on Thursday nights now. This was a test to see if people would actually tune in for Tuesday Night Football. So you can expect this in the future, especially if this extension of 18 games, if this works, this is what they're going to do. So you get ready for that, all right? So it'll be football throughout the whole week, pretty much. Yeah, I know, it may sound good to some, it may sound bad to some, but in other news, oh, also, shouts to Ed Reed, because, you know, for those who didn't see the game on Sunday when the Ravens played, he got called on, he was like a man on fire.
And you could say Ed Reed has been on fire here today.
Literally?
Well, yeah. His jacket caught fire along the sideline. Got some marshmallows.
And speaking of NFL players, Roger Goodell has saved Bret Favre's ass once again as he rules in his favor. That's right. For those who don't know, Bret Favre is only getting a fine for sending his cock all over the fucking cell phone and internet. Yeah. All right, like we want to see his old balls anyway. But the fact is, Roger Goodell saves his ass and only gives him a fine. Said, oh, there will be a punishment, but that's bullshit. He should be suspended. Why? Because Bret Favre, regardless, for those who know the rules of the NFL, any player, regardless guilty or innocent, if you break the player misconduct policy, which gives the NFL a black eye in any way, you are suspended automatically. Bret Favre has broken that rule and has not been suspended. So as far as I'm concerned, Roger Goodell, you have lost all power. You've lost all footing. You have to be consistent, all right? You dropped the ball on this one, Roger Goodell. You dropped the ball more than the Vikings did last night. But the fact is, you dropped the ball on this one. So from now on, any player who acts up, I don't care if they're drinking in the street and start punching random people, you cannot suspend them. You didn't suspend Bret Favre, you can't suspend them. It's unfair, and people will look at it in every different angle. Just letting you know that. Now, let's get on to the game. Eagles, first half, garbage. Second half, garbage. Look, let's get into this, all right? I'm going to break this down. Offense. We can start with offense because it's all about the coaching this week. It wasn't really much about the players unless you look at the defensive line and offensive line. But this is about coaching. Offense. Andy Reid, why are you running the same play over and over and over? What happened last night, guys? What did you see? Vic, hike the ball. What did he do? Anybody? Roll out to his left, throw a pass. All night. What happened to the running game? What happened to it? You abandoned it in the first half. And then, like, every once in a while you sprinkled a little bit on it. No, the running game was doing well. The Vikings could not do anything. We saw that. I don't know. Jared Allen couldn't stop McCoy to save his life. We saw this. But the fact is, this is what happened all night. Now, let me say Michael Vick made some piss-poor decisions out there, but he's following the play. And this bothers me a lot because the one play, for those Eagles fans, y'all know what I'm talking about here. For those who know, he threw the ball to the right, which was very rare. He didn't throw the ball to the right a lot last night. But threw the ball to the right, and Shepard was over there. What happened? Lito Shepard drops the ball, and the fans go nuts. They're like, oh, Ninja Lito. We all know about that, all right? But then what does Vic do next? They say, I got you, Vikings, I got you. Next play, throws a bomb, is picked off. It makes no sense. On that play, if you notice, you have Selleck and McCoy on the left-hand side. They're both eligible receivers because McCoy's coming out the backfield. Selleck is the tight end. He runs out, does a post pattern, all right? Just saying, they're kind of both on the left. You have two open guys, but you go to Deshaun deep. For some reason, I do not understand. All right? He may be the primary receiver. And, I just talked about this with a user the other day because he asked me, Deshaun Jackson, he says, should he be a third receiver, a number 3 receiver instead of a number 1? And I said, no, you can't do that because Deshaun is faster than Macklin and Avant. Plus, he draws 2 guys off when he goes to the deep route. Even though it's a one-trick pony move, him just going deep because he won't go across the middle or anything else. But he's drawing 2 guys away, the cornerback and the safety. That's 2 guys you don't have to worry about on the secondary anymore. And then on top of it, if anyone's been looking at any defensive scheme against the Eagles on Vic, they have another guy, the cornerback on the left, he's frozen. He sits there and he spies Vic. So that's 3 guys that are taken out of the equation on defense. However, they kept coming with the same blitz over and over and over. And I said this in the first half. All right? And Chris Collinsworth pointed out in the second half. But the fact is, it made no sense. It was the same blitz. It really wasn't disguised once. They disguised it twice. Other than that, they just kept coming with the same blitz. Andy Reid, why are you running these type of plays? Why are you running play action that deep down the field? It doesn't make sense. Use that in the red zone. That's what you use it for. But it makes no sense of how he used it last night. So all we got was Vic hiking the ball, rolling out, and then he'll probably have to run or whatever. No receivers came back. And on the play of the offense, at the end of the first half, where Vic gets stripped and the guy runs it back for a touchdown, Vic, this is what I don't understand. You're taking a guy away from his max protect side, which is his left side. It's a strong side, right? All right, so you take Selleck away. He breaks off for another post pattern, right? All right. Guy comes in, blitzes, strips Michael Vick. All right, now let's get something straight. When you're taking someone away from a max protect and you have him go out for a route and go inside for a post, you have your receivers stay short. Because when he's coming in for that blitz, he's got to get rid of that ball. Your quarterback, if God forbid Michael Vick wasn't able to run last night, he'd have been crushed. All right? He got hit time and time again. It's one guy cannot do this all. All right? He can't. But you also have to understand that because of how bad he played last night, and I still said he'll bounce back, he'll be fine. But as bad as he played last night, he just ruined his chances for MVP. Because they're not going to look at Brady. No way is they're going to sit here and say, well, Brady messed up too. No way. No way. It's over. But the fact is, he can bounce back from this. But you already have the media already talking about the old Michael Vick showed up, and we knew it was going to catch up to him, and it was only a matter of time, and whatever. All right? We knew this was going to happen. But the fact is, this does not help our situation any. Deshaun Jackson, once again, there was times where he gave up on a play, and I'm like, just fucking dive. And he wouldn't dive. I'm not going to give him too much because he wasn't that much of a factor, really. But the fact is, the one play I did like is when Michael Vick was getting ready to throw an interception. Deshaun pulled the defender away. He grabbed his jersey. They called pass interference, but I'll take a pass interference call over a turnover any day. So I don't have a problem with that, all right? And then we marched upfield after that. We took the 15 yards, but we marched upfield. We came back. So I'm not worried about that. Deshaun did a lot of bad things and a lot of good things. He was even with me this week, all right? So not worried about it. Macklin looked okay. These receivers, Avant really didn't have a chance to do much, all right? The offense was pretty non-existent, especially the offensive line. It's like nobody just showed up. Nobody. Defense, it was my biggest problem. This is the second week in a row defense has not shown up. The second week in a row. We were talking about tackling high, guys who can't. Jaquay Parker, you had that quarterback, Webb. You had him at least 5-6 times last night. And you fell on your fat ass. That's what you did. You fell right on your fucking face. I didn't understand it. Webb was not that elusive last night, all right? And they made him look like a star. He had players running into each other. When he ran to the end zone, players are running into each other and shit. It's like, you got to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. Now, this is what bothers me a lot. Diamond package. For those who don't know a diamond package, they used to do this in high school. Diamond package. 4 receivers on the right-hand side in play, for those who remember this play, all right? And what happens? They don't adjust. None of them adjust. The middle linebacker, whoever the new guy, whoever he is, never sees anything. You got 4 receivers against 2 guys back there. What are you doing? You shift the line over. That's what you do. And if worse come to worse, then you have your defensive end on the opposite side. Watch the running back who's flaring out. That's all you have to do. It's not that hard. It almost makes me think that they are not allowed to call audibles in the defensive side of the ball or shifts or on the offensive side of the ball. It's like they're just following the plays and not doing the work. It's simple math. 4 against 2. Do something about it. But they just, I don't get it. I don't understand. But the fact is, defense looked piss poor. I mean, the blitzes made no sense. McDermott, as far as I'm concerned, is nowhere near Jim Johnson. All right? All his random dialing up blitzes does not work. It doesn't. They did it once in the fourth quarter, and the scheme actually matched the other scheme. That's what a blitz is for. It almost makes me feel as though he doesn't have the clipboard with the pictures on it to see the formations. It's like he's just going into a blind. Someone needs to sit with Andy Reid. Just stay on silent. I don't care if it's me, any of you guys out there. I don't care. Someone stand next to Andy Reid on the sidelines, and every time you see that blitz, give yourself a cattle prod and be like, hey, stupid, and zap them. Hey, they're coming with the same blitz. Come with the same blitz. Call a different play. It's the same thing over and over. The Eagles did nothing last night. And you can't have this many problems consistently going into the playoffs. You can't. This should be smoothened out by now. It really should. I don't understand why these guys feel that they need to keep doing this over and over. And it's like I said, it's this Jekyll and Hyde thing. One week they'll blow a team out. The next week they won't show up. I don't understand. Now we have 2 more games in 12 days. Yes. All right. We got the Cowboys on Sunday. And for what you guys are telling me, third string quarterback will be starting. But you have to understand that defensive line is still intact. We're going to have to play them. Everyone's playing us the same way. It's not that hard. Reid should be drawing up plays to break that pattern that the Giants set. It's really not that hard. But the fact is, since we lost now, Chicago will get a bye. And now we have to see what's going to happen because now they may rest some guys and the Giants may sneak in now. We just opened the door for them. The Giants or the Packers, whoever. Somebody's going to sneak in. All right? So you just open the door for everybody. And like I said, I'm not going to get on the players too much. It was the lack of planning. It was the coaching this week. It killed us. And God bless David Akers. He tried to kick a 54-yard in the wind. They're like, yeah, wasn't going to happen because it was against the wind. But whatever. The fact is, God bless him for trying that. I'm not even going to jump on him for that. But the fact is, this guy's 2 more games in 12 days. We're playing 3 games in 12 days. We just lost 1. We have to beat Dallas. And then after that, it's playoffs. We cannot have these problems in the playoffs, guys. We can't. This has to be adjusted too much. No, it's not going to work. Andy Reid and company need to sit down and realize that you cannot take, because once the playoffs come, this is not about, oh, we beat them in the preseason or in the regular season. No, everyone starts at 0 in the playoffs. You cannot do this. It's simple X's and O's, people. I don't get it. All I know is that they played horrible. It was a game we should have blew them out. The fans said it. People were making predictions of 30-3. Like, wow. Like, on national TV. Like, that's just crazy. But the fact is, you can't have these type of games this late in the season. People are talking Super Bowl. No. What do I always tell you guys? 1 game at a time. And as you can see, with that defense, that offensive line, no. They have to tighten up. All right? On any given Sunday, anybody can win. Or Tuesday, or Saturday, or Thursday. Whatever they schedule it for. But the fact is, guys, this is not working. We need to work on our defense, shifting, masquerading things. And that's the problem because, like I said, the Vikings, last time we've been blitzed this much, the Vikings, the Bears, the Giants, and the Cowboys, what happened? They showed the blitz. They didn't disguise it much. It's not that hard. Let your quarterback do his job in audible. Really. Let your middle linebacker do his job and shift in audible. That's all. I don't get it. Anyways, guys, get back to me on this. I will talk to y'all later. Eagles, man, y'all fucking up. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out.